Flow. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing, brothers and sisters out there in Facebook land? How you doing? How you doing? My name is Tony M. Tooman. I want you all to come in. I got some very good content for you tonight. I want you to enjoy this show. Come on in, come on in, come on in, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to the weekend. We are here at the dawn of the weekend, my brothers and sisters, so I want you all to come in. We're going to have a very, very, very good show for you tonight. I guarantee you're not going to stay on here long tonight. I'm going to hit these points, and you all can have a good weekend. So come on in, come on in. We're going to give a few more people an opportunity to come in, my brothers and sisters, and you will enjoy this particular show that we're about to get into. Let me see who's here. I see some of you all coming in. Come on in, come on in, come on in. We're about to get to it. How you doing, Auntie? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? I see some of you all coming in. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I'm feeling good tonight. How you doing, Brother Mike? Sister Flo got some popcorn. You all grab some of that popcorn down there. Go ahead and get it, courtesy of Sister Flo Martin. How you doing? Mother, how you all doing? Come on in, come on in. We got a good topic to talk about tonight. We're going to let a few more people come in, and we're going to jump right into it. Come on in. Well, my brothers and sisters out there in Facebook land, how you doing this beautiful evening? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? For those of you that do not know me, my name is Tony M. Toomer, and I talk about relationships. I talk about relationship pertaining to that of a man and or a woman from a biblical standpoint. When I say a biblical standpoint, we're going to talk about going toward God's word, the Bible. God created the man first, then after that he created the woman. He had a unique relationship with the man and the woman. And after God had a unique relationship with the man and woman, how you doing, Sister Crabtree? He, my brother, and he, my sister, he brought that woman to the man, and that man said at that particular time, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, I should call her woman because she came from man. And so it is. So tonight, my brothers and sisters, that's the position I come from, a man and a woman. And tonight's show is being friends with your ex when you are currently in a relationship. Again, tonight's topic is being in a relationship with your ex when you're currently in a relationship. My brothers and sisters, now, just think about this. Is it wise or is it prudent to be in a relationship with your ex? How would your current mate think or feel about you or keeping contact with someone that you had history with? But let us go over 4 terms before we really get into the meat of our conversation. First of all, what is a friend? A friend is defined as a person who you have a strong like for and trust in, and another really close friend who likes to do everything together and always share secrets. To say it differently, my brother and sister, a friend also is someone that you share your hopes, your dreams, and your fears with. Now, your ex is defined as someone with whom a person that you once had an association with, like a relationship that possibly led to marriage. That is what is an ex. Now, there's another component that comes to this, and it called soul tie. Now, soul tie, my brother, and a soul tie, my sister, it is a spiritual connection that is deep emotional bond between two people, oftentimes formed through sex. How you doing, Sister Sharon? And then there's this thing called addiction. Now, what is addiction? An addiction is the fact or condition of being addicted to a particular substance, things, activity, or when it comes to a relationship, a person. So those of you that are coming in tonight, tonight's topic is being friend with your ex when you are currently in a relationship. Now, I know that some people will say it ain't nothing wrong being in a relationship with your ex, and then there will be some people that say, well, no, I don't think you need to do that. But what is the wise thing to do? And is it appropriate to have some type of relationship with your ex? Now, when I say your ex, I'm not talking about someone, brother, sister, that you randomly seen every now and then. When I say randomly seen, it could have been over the course of weeks, months, or even it could go to years. I'm talking about someone that you actually were in a relationship with when you conveyed it to that person. Look, I'm serious about you and I'm committed to you. That's what I'm talking about when it comes to a relationship. How you doing, Sister Angela? Those of you that are coming in tonight's topic, being friend with your ex when you're currently in a relationship. Now, this could be very, very sticky. If you, brother, or if you, sister, let's say that you're married. Let's come from that position. Let's say if you are married. Well, we ain't even got to do it. Let's say you're engaged and you're moving towards marriage, or you already married. So let's take it from that point. What is the point, or is there a point so that you keep contact with your ex? Why would you keep contact with your ex when you are in your current relationship? The thing, you're going to have to put the shoe on the other foot. How would you think, or how would you feel if that person that you with maintain contact with his or her ex? Now put yourself in that person's position. What would you think, or what would you feel? Now when it comes to an ex, you got to understand this. There is what is called history. And when there's history, those two people, they know one another very well, and they could be comfortable very well. But what can lead to a man having a relationship with a woman that is his ex, or a man or a woman having a relationship with a man that is an ex? Sister Angela brought up a point because we have a child together. Now that is a very, very valid point. And Auntie said you might have children. Now, I'm glad you ladies mentioned that children. When it comes to your ex, my brothers, when it comes to my ex, my sister, especially if the children are small, my brothers and sisters, okay, and said got to drive now. If you brothers and sisters, if you have small children, I recommend that you keep contact with your children, brother, sister. If you are, for some reason, you and that man or woman could not stay together, it's very, very important that you have a relationship with your children. Very, very important. Now, to maintain stability with your children, you might have to go funnel your communication through your ex. And when I say children or child, they need to be small children, whereas the mate might have to get in contact with you for the sake of the children. Auntie say, first of all, you might be better friends than being in a relationship. That's right, Auntie. That's right, Auntie. But let me tell you this, brothers and sisters. If you're in a relationship with someone, you need to convey to that person that you're in a relationship with that, look, my child or my children were here before you and I became in a relationship, and I want to be a part of my child's upbringing or my children's upbringing. And hopefully you got an individual in your life that will accept those terms. If you, brother, if you, sister, are with a person and he or she does not want you to have no relationship with your child or children, that's a person that you need to stay away from. And so hopefully you should see some signs or red flag from an individual that does not want you to maintain a relationship with your children. Now, as the children are growing up and we have the cell phones and all that kind of stuff, you should be able, my brother, or you should be able, my sister, how you doing, Sister Taylor? for you and your child or children to have one-on-one conversation, whereas you don't have to go through your ex, especially if the children are staying with your ex. Now, when it comes to like events, like when it comes to a little birthday party, graduations, or weddings, or things along that nature, there's nothing wrong with you being cordial and friendly to your mate, especially if you're in a relationship with someone else. But there are boundaries, my brothers, and there are boundaries, my sister, when it comes to having contact with your ex. Now, let's take the children out of the equation. If there isn't a child, or if there isn't children, you, my brother, you, my sister, you have to look at it this way. Why do you need to keep contact with your ex? There are some relationships that I do know of where the man is maintaining contact with his ex. They might talk every day, text every day, or there might be a woman that reach out to her ex. They might talk, they might text every day. If it's not no child or children involved, my brother and sister, my recommendation is that you kind of like stay apart, because you need to respect the boundaries and you need to respect your mate. Now, this is where it comes very difficult, my brothers, and this is where it comes very difficult, my sister. This is what happened. When it comes to an ex, you got to realize that, my brother, and you got to realize that, my sister, there was what is called history. History. How you doing, Sister Twyla? So with the history, that person is comfortable with his or her ex-mate because they got history. And history can be possibly dangerous. So when people break up in a relationship, there's two factors. That person, if that person is keeping contact with his or her mate, there's a possibility that there's still a soul tie to that relationship. How you doing, Sister Renee? There's a possibility that there's a soul tie, or there is an addiction. For a man and a woman to continue to have a relationship with his or her ex, it's going to come down to those two things. There's a soul tie, or there's an addiction. Especially, like I said, when you take the children out of the equation. Now, what is the soul tie? The soul tie is the spiritual connection between two people. That's why, my brother and sister, when you have invested time with an individual, there's a very, very strong possibility that there is going to be a soul tie. And I have expounded, not explained, but I have expounded to you all several times what the soul tie is. Auntie say that the individual first needs to have the right mindset. The Bible says you need to live peaceful with all men, and all it has to be done with the right mind. That is very, very true. Very, very true. Now, brother and sister, if you keep in contact with your mate and you are in a current relationship, minus the children, it's somewhat disrespectful, because a lot of time a man or woman, they transition into another relationship and they're not completely, so the ties are not cut with that other person. So you feel that connection. That's why a lot of people, they still have those foreign thoughts, and they want to be with the person, but then again, they don't want to be with the person. So that's very, very dangerous when it comes to that soul tie. So my brother and sister, if you going to go outside of that your ex, with that relationship that you had with your ex, you need to completely cut it, because the longer you maintain contact with that person, you're going to still have that tie with them. And what is a tie? It's just like if you have a rope, my brother and sister, if you have a rope, and that person is going that way, and that person is going that way, because we're talking about soul tie. The longer you stay away from that person, those ties are going to start breaking up. They're going to start breaking up. But if you maintain those ties, they're going to unify and come back together. That's what's going to happen. They're going to, because you still got that connection and you're not finished. Let me tell you this, my brother and sister. There are some men and women that they still have soul ties to their ex, even though that man is in a relationship with another woman, or that woman is in a relationship with another man, and that's why it's very, very dangerous. So what I'm saying, my brother, what I'm saying, my sister, if you are transitioning out of a relationship with someone, do not get into another relationship unless you are completely finished with that person that you have left. And you see, it doesn't work, my brother and sister, when you try to get your mate to say, well, you try to convey to your mate, oh, it's not nothing. It's nothing. We're just friends and stuff. And that's another thing, my brother and sister. You are not friends with your ex, minus the children. You can respect them. You can see them on the street or whatever. You can respect them, but you have to put that on ice, because you have to think about how your mate think and feel about you contacting your ex, because that leads to things. And if you have a soul tie to that person, if you have a problem with your current mate, what are you going to more than likely do? More than likely, you're going to pick up that phone and you're going to call your ex and discuss your business with your ex. Now, what kind of sense does that make? You're in a relationship with a man, sister. You're in a relationship with a woman, brother. Why would you be calling your mate to share some things that going on in your home with your current mate? That makes no sense. And then what's going to happen, you're going to eventually run. How you doing, Sister Karen? You're going to eventually meet with your ex, because you still got those soul ties. And when you meet with your ex, you're going to always talk about what y'all used to do. And you're going to talk about how you still feel about one another. And all that stuff is familiar to you. So it's going to be easier for you to do things with your mate, even to the point of going to bed with that person. And that's how some relationships are. You get a man that's going through some problem with his woman. He called his ex and they share some stuff. And then he find himself going to be with his ex. Or you can have a woman that she having a problem with her ex, and then she gonna be comfortable enough to go around her ex. And this is what happened most of the time, because there is history. It's easier for that man and that woman that are exes to end up in the bed together. It's very easy. So that's the danger of soul tie, when you have not cut that cord of the relationship that you have with someone else. And then there's another reason why some men and some women still maintain with their ex, and that's the addiction. And as I read to you earlier, addiction is defined as a condition of being addicted to a particular substance, thing, or activity. There's some of you brothers, you're addicted to that woman, your ex. There are some of you sisters that are addicted to that man. And a lot of time when you're addicted to somebody, is whereas you, the mate that you're currently with, you think or feel that he or she is not meeting the need what your ex still have. That's how some of you think. Some of you brothers and sisters, you still thinking that way. You're thinking, whereas my mate, I love my current mate, but he or she just cannot do certain things like my ex can do. And that's why a lot of you still keep in contact with your exes, because you are addicted to that person. You could be addicted to that person's conversation. You could be addicted to some behavior that that person have, your ex have, that your current mate doesn't have, or you addicted to, you could be addicted to your ex in a sexual way. It's different ways when it comes to addiction, when it comes to dealing with your mate. So what am I saying, my brother, and what am I saying, my sister? When it comes to a relationship, if you don't have no child or children, you need to cut the cords to your ex. You need, like I said, you could be cordial and everything. Your ex need to go on with his or her life. You need to go on with your life, because that person is an ex for a particular reason. And you have to understand that, my brothers and sisters. That person is an ex for a particular reason. Now, is it all right to be friends? Because it's some people, it's a reason why some people want to hold on to their mate. And let me tell you this, my brother, let me tell you this, my sister. A lot of time, that person that you're in a relationship with, he or she already knows that you still have that tie to that person. And a lot of times, if you're in a current relationship with someone and your mate said, look, it's something going on there, your mate can see it. Even though a lot of times you might lie to your mate, but your mate see it. And then a lot of brothers and sisters, you would lie to your mate and say, look, you got it all wrong. There's nothing between me and my ex. I don't see nothing wrong with it. We still friends. No, my brother, no, my sister. You were more than friends when it comes to ex. You know, like I said, when it comes to ex, I'm not talking about someone that you used to date every now and then. I'm talking about a person that you really invested some time in. You invested your time, your mind, your will, your emotion, your body, your financing. You did a whole bunch of things together. You need to cut the tie, because if you don't, you're going to ruin your current relationship. And you have to always keep in mind, how would I think and how would I feel if my mate does it? You have to put the shoe on the other foot, my brothers. And you have to put the shoe on your foot, my sisters. How you doing, sisters and brothers that coming in? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? The topic for tonight, is being friends with your ex when you're currently in a relationship. It's not a good idea. It's not a good idea. It could break up your current happy home, my brother and sister. Always remember this. Would I want my mate to do what he or she is requesting for me to do? And sometimes what happens if a person is dealing with his or her ex, this thing will be thrown out. Or you must feel insecure. It's not about feeling insecure. The person not feeling insecure. That person just not a fool. How you doing, Sister Deborah? Your mate is not a fool. Your mate got common sense. Your mate could do math. Your mate could add 1 + 1 = 3. So I'm telling you, my brother and sister, it's not wise to be friends with your ex. And like I said, an ex is someone that you were possibly engaged to, someone that you was married to, someone that you really invested time in. I'm not talking about those people that you were going out with every now and then that's a question mark too. You might want to put that aside too, depending on you soul tied to them. Because a lot of brothers and sisters, you soul tied to some people that you had a casual relationship with, and that's more dangerous. Someone that you had a casual relationship with, you still tied to them, which can mess up your home. Because let me tell you this, my brother and sister, someone that you were casual with, or even your ex, could challenge the stability of your relationship. Because some people, just for game purposes, he or she wants to see, can they pull you out of your relationship? Some men, sister, they will call you, your ex, in a relationship with someone else, will call you and see, can he get you to spend some time with him? And he know you in a relationship with you engaged, or you are married. He might see, just can he get you out of the house? It's a game for him. And he want to see, is he still the man? Can he get out of you what he used to do? And the same thing too, brother. That woman, it might be a game to her. She really don't want you. She just want to see just how well your relationship is. She want to see, are there any type of breaks in your relationship where she can draw you out just to prove a point? Some people, they don't care nothing about your relationship. They just want to see, can they prove a point and pull you out and see, do you still have fond feelings and things like that with that person. Auntie said, if not, if you are are mentally capable. Yes, Auntie, that's true. That's true. That's true. It can be done if you can handle it. Yes, it can be done, but let me tell you something, my brother and sister. You got to be very, very careful when you maintain a relationship with your ex. Someone that you call yourself serious, someone that you call yourself committed to, someone that you even did the covenant thing, you got married. Well, I'm going to give you a situation. When I was single, and as you know, a lot of you, I have told you that I've been divorced before. When I was single, my ex and I, we would go to the movies together. We would go to dinner together and all kinds of things. So when some people find out that my ex and I, we went out, that before, I got married, we went out. It was no sex involved. It was no kissing. It wasn't none of that. We were better friends than we were when we was married. But this is for single people. This is not for married people or people in a relationship. I was not in a relationship with no one. She was not in a relationship with one. We was married, but we did go out and do things like that. But it wasn't like it was when we was married. And like I said, we were better friends than we were when we was married. So that's for you single people. You might want to do that, but that's just for you single people. But if you're engaged and married, my recommendation is not to do it. I love you, my brothers and sisters, and guess what? It's that time for us to move on. I told you I wasn't going to keep you all that long today. I love you, my brothers. I love you, my sister. I hope that you all have a good night. Lord willing, I will be here tomorrow night. I love you, brother. I love you, sister. Peace.